Hi, this is Jeff again. Welcome to my channel if you're new. This video is another in my series Discovering Kelowna, where I'm discovering all 203 Kelowna parks in a year. So I'm getting close to 40% through. It's a lot of fun. Last week we saw some parks in the snow, but next week the snow is all melted and we're out to see 4 more city parks. We're going to see one down in Glenmore, the last one down in Glenmore that I haven't visited yet, and then 3 more up in Wilden. It's a new neighborhood up at the top of the ridge above the Glenmore Highlands. It's probably the highest subdivision in Kelowna. Well, I guess we'll see when we get there. Hopefully the views will be great. Hopefully you come along and enjoy what we have to show you. Hey, so here I am in my first park of the day. This is Baloo Park, named after Baloo Road, which you can see in the distance there. So this is actually a bigger park than it appears on its on first look. You can see down behind me, there's a fenced-in area where they take care of the grass, and it's got a playground, and then beside it, just outside that area, there's a community garden. But all this lawn that I'm standing on here is also part of the park. So it's a much bigger park. Just to my left here, and if you can see the sign, see that sign? That describes the rules for sledding and tobogganing down this hill, so that's all part of the park. And if I turn around more, you can see that we're right up against the slopes of Knox Mountain. So that behind me is Knox Mountain, and it's, it's the northern end of the Glenmore Ridge, and it's part of Knox Mountain Park East. So a few weeks ago, I took a walk right up through the middle of there to Magic Estate. So if you remember that, this is the other side of that ridge on the east side. So Baloo Park is where I am today, and it's in Glenmore. It's the last park I had to visit in the Glenmore Valley. It got missed by all the other Glenmore walks, so I'm very glad to have come to see it today. It's not just a nice neighborhood park with a little playground. It's a big field with some slope to it and a nice place to go sledding. Hey, so here I am in the next park of the day. This is Lost Creek Park. So we're definitely up in Wilden now. This is a relatively new subdivision right up on top of the mountain. You can see behind me there's not a lot of up left to go. I'd show you the view in front of me, but the winter sun is right in my face, so you wouldn't be able to see so much. But from here we can look north, right down over the rest of the mountain, right towards the main plain of Kelowna. So this park is a pretty small park. You can kind of see the whole thing just there behind me. So it's in a hairpin turn, they kind of filled the corner with a nice neighborhood park. It's got a playground for the kids around to play in, and that's pretty much the whole park. So it's a nice place to come, and you've got some benches to sit on and things, but mostly it's just for the local folks to hang out. It is very close to the uppermost reaches of the Upper Canyon open space. So if you remember my walk to Magic Estates is down the hill in front of me to the north. And we saw the Upper Canyon open space, and there's a whole long arm of that goes up a gully that's just to my right. So that's just to the west of here, behind the houses along this street. So it's all connected. It's providing corridors for deer and other wildlife to travel around on the mountain, even though it's being encrusted with subdivisions. So if you live in this area, if you like Wilden, you can have a look at Lost Creek Park. Hi, so here I am in my third park of the day. This is the Skyland open space. So I'm here on Skyland Drive, right up near the top of a mountain. And there's a new subdivision being put in all around here. But behind me you can see this gully that is protected as park space. So it's not developed, there's no trail heading up that way. But all the way from here up to where Skyland Drive goes around a corner and comes back on itself is all one park, the Skyland open space. So just like the Upper Canyon open space, this is a conservation corridor that has been left here. It's a gully where it's not easy to build a house. So that's all been protected as parkland for the future. Hey, so here I am at my fourth and final park of the day, still up in Wilden. This is the Wilden Ridge Pond. So you can see behind me, there is a pond. It's frozen now. It's got a lot of cattails on it and bulrushes and lots of willows growing around it. And it is completely undeveloped, but that is appropriate. I'm just glad it was protected and designated as a special park, because a wetland like that is an extremely valuable part of the local ecosystem and extremely important resource for the local wildlife, animals and plants to have a corridor to get around the mountain, and important resources to breed and feed and things like that. So this is the Wilden Ridge Pond. It's in a hairpin turn where Wilden Ridge Road meets Skyland Drive. So very close, in fact, just across the street from the Skyland open space. So if you're up in Wilden exploring the mountain, there's two nifty park spaces you can check out. Okay, so that was my video for today. I hope you enjoyed what we saw. We saw 4 parks today. Down in Glenmore, we saw Baloo Park, and then up here in Wilden, we saw 3 parks. We saw the Wilden Ridge Pond and the Skyland open space, which are undeveloped parks at the top of the mountain. And we also saw Lost Creek Park, which is a well-developed neighborhood park with a playground. So it's interesting space. Here I am up on a street where none of the houses have been built. I don't know if the lots have been sold. You can see behind me Dilworth Mountain, and on the other side you can see part of Knox Mountain. That's part of Knox Mountain Park. Knox Mountain Park East, which I went through a few weeks ago. So the view is incredible up here. The houses are going for a lot of money, and it's fun to get up here and check it out before they're built, and to see some of these great places that are being preserved for even when there are lots of people up here. Hopefully the animals will still be having a good time. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and consider liking this video. I got new videos every week exploring the parks of Kelowna, and I hope I've inspired you to check out parks in your area. You never know what you're going to find until you go out there and see it for yourself.